Hello, this is day 27 of 30-day vulnerability video challenge. Can't believe it's already 27 days. Tomorrow, just 2 more to go. That's pretty exciting. My name is Denise Belil, and thank you for watching. As I mentioned yesterday, I was talking about explaining about one module about my program, and I wanted to talk more about it. And today, actually, I talked about it a few videos back, a few weeks ago, and I was talking about a story that we tell ourselves, that I tell myself, and I think we all have somehow our own little stories that we tell ourselves. Like my story, that what I did, actually, if you go back, way back, what I did is I wrote my story down. I wrote it on a piece of paper. Then what I did is I shred it and I put it on my barbecue, and I took a lighter and I lit it up so that I would just send it out with peace and send it away. And I didn't want to talk. It was not part of my life anymore. And that's so funny because I was trying to remember that story, and for the life of me, I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember what I wrote down. I couldn't remember what was my blockage. And I felt like somehow, like, wow, it really worked because I can't remember it. And what I had done, in one page I had the story, and on the other page I had the story of how I wanted to change as opposed to living in that negative thinking, and what would be the positive thinking that I want to have. And once I read the positive thinking, I said, oh yeah, that was the story I was telling myself. So I thought it was pretty funny. So that's the basis and the foundation of the first module, is to go and really look at what are the things that we're telling ourselves every day. Whether we say I'm not good enough, or whether we say, oh, we heard so many times, you can't do it. You can't be an entrepreneur. You can't find true love. You can't, or the experience in our life, like breaking in relationship, that we keep telling ourselves we're not good enough. We're never going to find true love. All these things. And every time we get into, for example, a relationship, then we say, oh, he's never going to love me enough. I'm never going to be good enough for him. And these are things that we keep repeating ourselves and create patterns in our life. So that's one example. And what I do in the program is I ask people to go and write those stories and actually bring to the surface of the consciousness these stories that are very often deep inside our unconsciousness. So it's just to bring back, look at patterns that are happening in our life and what would control that. How can we manipulate those stories in order to first find out what they are and then write it down and then think about it, ponder upon it, and see if that's really what's affecting in my life, and then write everything we can about it, just free writing. And then afterwards you rewrite it, you reread it, and then you look at it and say, okay, this is what I've been telling myself for the last 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years for some people. Is that really who I want to be? And then on the other side, then you write on another piece of paper, you write according to the same pattern, who do I want to be? How do I want to act? How do I want to succeed in my life? I deserve love. I deserve prosperity. I'm a strong person. I'm not a wimp. Or, like, you don't go in a negative when you rewrite your story, but if somebody was telling you like, oh, you never succeed, you're not good enough, then you write, I'm strong, I can succeed, I'm good in my company, I can, whatever that is, the story. I'm a good parent, or I'm a good sister, or I'm a good friend. And then by rewriting that story, and then if necessary, you go and read that story over and over again, just to change the circuit in your brain. Because by telling you the negative story for 10, 20, 15, how many years you've been telling that story, or people have been telling you, you have a very strong neurological connection in your brain. So by now, burning that piece of paper, sending it peace in the universe, and now by rewriting that new story, you have to repeat it in your mind frequently, reread that positive statement that you wrote in order to create new neurological connection in your brain, so that you can reprogram your brain with what you want as opposed to what has been unconsciously accumulated over the years. So that's my the first module of my program. What it is on April 17, I'm going to be launching a 6 weeks pilot program for the program I've been creating. And if you're interested in joining on to the program, just send me a personal message. And I would be happy to have a talk with you, and then we can see if that's a fit with you. I will describe to you all the module, and then we can talk about it. It's at a very, very, very discounted price from the future full program. That'll be coming out in September. But the purpose of doing that pilot program is to be able, first of all, to see if what I want to offer will be corresponding to what people need. In my mind, I think it is, but sometimes you bring it out there and people are like, wow, we don't need that, we don't want that, this is not good. Or they'll say, it's too complicated, we need to simplify. And that's why I do the pilot, and that's why it's a discounted price. I help you through my program, and you help me through the feedback and going through the program. So I'm very excited to start on April 17. Again, if you're interested, send me a personal message, and then we can talk about price and the rest of the program. And I wish you a wonderful night. And again, see you tomorrow. Goodbye.